What is good? What is good, everybody? I told you guys. Didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell you guys that?
Let me just get swapped.
Yes. Didn't I tell you guys that this year was going to be different with the podcast? I told y'all. So look, thanks to some wonderful friends over at Etsy. We now finally have a proper talk show setting. We're at a proper studio now. You can see in the back. You can see, and also you got the snow. You know, you got the little monitor above with my logo and present and everything. Man. I told you guys. If you guys saw, I told you this year was gonna have a lot of new flavor. And today I'm gonna show you some of that, because for the first time ever on this podcast, me and my guest, and yes, I say guest in quotes, Miss MapleTaffyKisses, we are podcasting each other. Yes. So today is a dual kind of sort of podcast where we are basically interviewing each other. So this episode of our dual podcast is a little kind of sort of different. Doing something new today. You know what I'm saying? Doing something a little different. Hey, also, Baloney, what is good? What is good? Neo Kitsu, thank you for following the channel. I hope you are doing well. Well, you guys know who I am, but I'm sure a lot of you don't know who my co-host for this episode is. So why don't we go ahead and let our co-host introduce herself? So the floor is yours.
So hello everyone, my name is MapleTaffyKisses, but I just go by Maple for short. I am a deer in the headlight VTuber, meaning that I am absolutely terrible at games, but we're absolutely gonna have fun anyways.
She may be a deer.
In fact,
she may be a deer in the headlights, but she's but she knows the way to our hearts. Ain't that right? Ain't that right, everybody?
I will absolutely stumble into your heartstrings.
No, Maple, you are good. You are good. Master Fisher Deer MapleTaffyKisses. Indeed, sir. Oh! Teddy Bundy coming in with 3 gifted subs to Cake. Two gifted subs rather to Cake and Crazy Wolf. Thank you, y'all.
Thank you, Teddy Bundy. Also, thank you for the follow. Super excited for you to be here. Thank you.
As excited for you to be here too. Also, if you guys are watching on my channel, also this episode of the podcast and every podcast going forward is going to be on simulcast on both Twitch and YouTube. So if you guys are, for those that are on my YouTube channel, I hope you are doing well. Thank you for tuning in as well. So every podcast from this point forward will now be on both Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. But now that we got all the formalities out of the way, Crazy Wolf, what is going on, my good sir? Welcome to our special dual podcast. I hope you are doing well. I know. What is it? Isn't it like, it's like what? Midnight, 1 a.m. for you over there, good old England?
Yes, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Well,
1 a.m. Damn, get some. Oh, Crazy Wolf. Well, I appreciate the I appreciate the dedication and all to dedication and everything. Like, hey, get your sleep, good sir. Get your sleep.
Yes. When you do get to bed, make sure that it's super restful.
All right. So, with all that said, you will soon. Hey, I feel that. Sometimes I regret not preparing late night with ice maple squeeze. Hi, you are good, man. You are good, Baloney. I mean,
I would have been fantastic for Baloney.
But shout out to Baloney, man. He worked really, really hard to help get all this set up and everything. So Baloney is also so for those that don't know, Baloney Kenshin is Maple's other half. Also,
yes.
Also moderator to both her and my channels. So big shout out to Mr. Baloney and Maple. Baloney did your VTuber model, right?
Yes. So Baloney has done all of the VTuber and then has also had a hand in quite a lot of the art throughout my channel. So he's done a lot of the not the starting screen, but the artwork for the opening songs and then the opening songs themselves. And then is the techie extraordinaire behind the channel. I know absolutely nothing about running all of this, and without Baloney Kenshin, I would be so stuffed. Like, even more so than I normally am.
Oh man. Hey, you can't say you're a streamer until you have some scuffness, right? Am I right or am I right?
Oh, absolutely.
I agreed. W Baloney indeed. W Baloney. So, as you guys know, it's a new year, new setting
2025.
Same old vibes. So we're doing a little differently today since we're co-streaming at the same time. We're gonna be talking to each other, asking each other questions, and also talking about just random stuff. Of course, no politics and none of that. As well as answering all of y'all's questions. So if you have a question for me, if you have a question for Maple, if you have a question for the both of us. I forgot to turn that channel point redemption. You know what? Screw it. We're gonna go without the channel point redemption for this. But if you have a question for me, either on Twitch or if you watch it on YouTube, if you have a question for either one of us, feel free to ask it in the chat. But with that said, Maple, first thing, what inspired the, I guess what inspired you to stream, and also I'm also gonna ask what when you came up with the idea of the deer in the headlights, or the deer model for your VTuber model.
Absolutely. So actually, I got my start originally uh doing more of like Gunpla streams, and I
Oh,
really liked that, but I had a run-in that kind of made it a little bit scary. And so I was like, oh, I need a way to stream still and have fun, but a little bit more like anonymity, I guess.
I got you. Excuse me.
So that's when like I started to decide that I wanted to VTube, but I had absolutely no idea how to, kind of break into this space. And luckily, while Baloney had no idea when he started, they have like a savant way of just kind of going through it and just like faking it until they make it. Um, so I was like, hey, I'm very interested in VTubing. I know that you know nothing about rigging, but I mean, this is something that I'd like to do. Can I I don't know, can I like research, and can you research, and can we go from there on and like try to make it happen? Or, otherwise I'm gonna have to save up like $1,500 for like a VTuber. And then 6 months later, baloney figured it out, and thus Maple was born. I think the hardest part was just me deciding on just the look that I was wanting to go with.
It's our everyone round of applause for Maple, everybody. Y'all show us a love. This is our first. I guess I can tell you, this is our first ever first time doing a podcast, being on a podcast. So she's a little nervous, but let's show her some love. She's doing a good job so far. I'm sorry, Maple. I didn't mean to interrupt, but continue.
The stream is held on together by hope, streams, and duct tape. I mean, that is very true of me.
Stream is held together with hope, streams, and duct tape. Well, Baloney, you built a good foundation for Maple, so you should be really proud. Both of you should be really proud of yourselves. Actually, both of you.
But then the concept of the deer in the headlight actually came from me typically freezing when playing games. I love playing video games, but I'm absolutely terrible at it. I grew up with video games, but just I kind of had an overprotective dad, and like I probably had like a 15-minute time limit on just the internet in general. And my parents were like, no, don't stay inside, go outside and play. So as much as I would have loved to have just continuously played, I never really got the chance until I got my hands on my very first computer, which didn't happen until I was 16. Otherwise, I had that 15-minute time limit.
Oh man, my folks were like that. My folks were like that when I was younger. When I was about 15, 16, they would be like, hey, you play too many video, you need to go outside and everything. And so I didn't have as much access to games as I do now. Now that I'm a grown adult with a career and everything. But so I feel you on that regard, Maple. I feel that we're kind of similar in that we were raised by very we were raised. Our parents were very strict on us, but it helped us in the long run. Am I right or am I right? Also, is that a Jolly Bunny I see in our chat?
Jolly
Everybody
Bunny!
showing your love for Miss Jolly. Everybody.
And also, hello, Nico. Thank you for the
And
raid.
yes, Nico, thank you for rating thank you for rating Maple earlier. Jolly, I hope you are having a good time, and I hope you're enjoying the cold weather in Florida right now. Also, please go follow Jolly Bunny, longtime friend of my community, a longtime moderator of my community, also a good friend of Maple's as well. Go show her some love, everybody. All right. Sorry, Maple. I guess.
No. You are so
I threw us off
fine.
course there a little bit. Threw us off course there a little bit. But if you want to continue.
Well, I actually have a question for you, Ice.
All right.
So just because I know that we might have some new people to both of our channels who might be tuning in for the very first time, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you do and how did you get into this podcasting space?
Yes. So, those that have been with me since the beginning know the whole backstory behind how Iceman came to be. But outside of so basically, I started around the pandemic, like most other streamers. Long story, and then I used to play when I played back on PS3 and those times. My name was Iceman Prime, and in IRL, my friends called me Iceman because my favorite character was Iceman from the X-Men character, and I was a big fan of and I'm also a fan of Transformers. And I'm a fan of Optimus Prime, so I put those together, and that's how I came up with the name Iceman Prime, and it was a name that I was using since my early gaming online days. So I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna use that name for my content creation going forward, and then that's how that's how Iceman Prime came to be. And then, so pretty much what got me into this space actually was, ironically, my folks. They saw that, like, I loved video games so much. I played them a lot. They were like, there are people out there, doing streaming and talking about video games. Why don't you do? So they were like, why don't you do that? And believe it or not, I blew that idea off at first because I was like, who would want to listen to me because I did not like, because I don't like my voice, or I don't like how I sounded. I don't like how I sound, if I'm being honest. And to this day I still don't, but I'm like now used to it. But I was like, but then I was talking with my mama. I talked with my friends about it, and they were like, dude, you have dude, your voice isn't that bad. You have the knowledge and personality to do it, so just do it. So then I pretty much was like, so I just so you know what? I decided, you know what? I'll just stream through my PS4 because I didn't have a PC set up at the time. And I also was working at another job at the time as an accountant, so I built all that up. So I saved up a lot of money, built my first PC, which I'm still using today, in October of 2020, and that's how all this came to be. And the funny thing is, the podcasting actually didn't start until about 2020. 2022. Yeah, about 2022, 2021. So me and some of my other ones, we had another podcast that we started, but that we had just gotten off the ground. But unfortunately, due to IRL obligations, though that fell through, and so I decided, to take what I learned from that and start this podcast. And now 4 years into it, look at where we are today. So, and Jolly is 100% right. It is all about the journey. And and I also love the cold weather and everything, which is why you see the snow in the background and everything. But all that aside, basically, all that together is how Iceman Prime came to be. Also, huge. I'm gonna give a big shout out to Jolly Bunny once again. I know I say a lot about her, but I can't say enough. A lot of where I'm at today, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of where I'm at today, she played a significant part in that. Like, if it wasn't for her hyping me up on stream, and everything, and off stream her advice and everything, I would not be where I'm at today. I wouldn't be here today.
Jolly Bunny, you're so great. Thank you.
Oh yes, you guys enjoyed the fishing game also.
I bought that and I have yet to set it up.
You bought the fishing game. You don't have it set up on your stream, Maple?
No, it's a fail.
Chat.
Thank you for the subscription, Nico. Ow.
Chat. Please chat. Can we get Maple a fishing rod and set it up with her stream so she can get on this fishing game? Oh my goodness. Jolly says, I'm too kind. Your whole community is here to support you. Iceman the Hype Man. Thank you, John. Thank you. I mean, I try. Everything okay, Maple? Looks like
Yes. Sorry, I got beat up and it didn't get so when I get a new subscription, Rains, the Twitch integrative throwing system, rains cookies down on my head, so it definitely looked like I was getting beat up.
And I agree with Jolly. The same goes for you. I agree with her 100%. Hey, Mr. Ed Savage, how are you doing, good sir? Y'all welcome Ed Savage to the welcome Ed Savage to the studio. I can't call it the ice lounge anymore. I need to come up with a new name for this. I don't know what to call it anymore. I guess I'll think of a name. I'll think of a name for this new setup. Anyway, if you guys don't, can we get a shout out for Ed Savage? Also, again, if you guys have any questions for either of us, you guys can feel free to ask in the chat. I usually have a channel point redemption for that, but I didn't turn it on. But for this episode, we're gonna throw that to the wayside, as me and Maple are doing the podcast together. So we're interviewing each other, so to speak. Well, it's a podcast crossover.
Yes. I do have another question for you, Ice.
Let me hear it.
So my next question then is, what is something surprising that you have learned about yourself from streaming?
Woo. that I'm that I don't give myself enough that I am way better than I don't want to say way better. I don't want to sound arrogant. The most important thing I've learned is about myself is how is that is that I have despite is that I have a lot more personality than I realize. Like I used to think of myself as like a boring nobody kind of person. I mean who I mean I don't talk very much. I feel like I'm not a very good conversation holder, if you know what I mean, kind of person. But since I've been in the streaming space, and a lot of people are actually entertained by my streams and everything, despite all that, and that surprised me because I didn't think I was gonna get anywhere in this space, and look at me 4 years later, a whole bunch of affiliations later. Another surprising thing is the affiliations I got, especially the Capcom creators. To get into the Capcom creators program, that's probably my biggest goal to date, is that out. But that aside, the most surprising thing is how skilled and talented I am when I put my all into it.
Absolutely. So then would you say that the becoming a Capcom affiliate was kind of like the turning point in your streaming, or was it something else? Or are you just attributing that to like your biggest success so far?
Yeah, I would say it's the latter, attributing more to the biggest success I've had so far. I would say probably the big turning point was when I became affiliated, and back in that was July of 2020. So this July will be I'll be 5 years affiliated. That was probably the biggest factor, I feel. It just it goes to show you. It just goes to show that despite your upbringing and despite despite the challenges, whether it's autism or you've dealt with some personal trauma of IRL, there's a space for everybody here. Everybody, on whether it's Twitch or YouTube or in the content creating space altogether. There's a space for everybody. You just go out there, be yourself and do it. And I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned, in my 5 years I've been, or 4 years I've been on this space. I see that Maple is in an ad break, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take a break ourselves on my end, and we'll be back in about a minute. All right, that was a quick ad break. Is your ad break done, Maple?
I have about 9 seconds left.
9 seconds. just starting your journey. Hey, Nico. Hey, I'll be honest with you. Starting is the hardest part, but once you get that once you get affiliated and everything with, a put in the work, it's, well, I don't want to say smooth sailing, but it gets more manageable from there. And don't worry,
I would
Nico.
agree.
We got you. We got you 100% of the way. If you need any ideas, if you need any help, we're a DM away. We got you. And that's what I like
I think
about
that's
our
what I most
communities.
love about our communities. Absolutely.
All right. So Maple, my question to you is, so the dear VTuber, whose idea was it?
Oh, absolutely mine. I'm a little obsessed with deer, and then the pun of the deer in the headlight came into place, and it just kind of became my whole personality. No, my personality is essentially that I wanted to be as most authentically myself as I possibly can. I have always likened myself to Sailor Moon. In my personality, just I'm kind of a big airhead most of the time. I will absolutely trip over my own 2 feet. Um, and if there is a place to just be the comedic relief, I will absolutely take it.
I see. I mean, we have our. I mean, to be honest, I have my moments too, where things just go over my head. So, but it's all good, mate. I mean, it's what makes you you, right? Also, I know a certain one of my mods, a certain mod in the chat that I think would love to go to a Sailor Moon convention with you, or nerd out on Sailor Moon with you, but because of time.
Oh, absolutely. I am obsessed. My entire case of my computer is Sailor Moon themed. It's actually technically it is more Wicked Lady themed, but yes. Obsessed with Sailor Moon from a very small age. I used to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning just to watch it every day.
So who's your favorite Sailor Moon character? Or I guess, who are your favorite Sailor Moon characters, I should say?
You mean out of the Sailor Scouts or just characters in general?
Let's say both.
So favorite Sailor Scout would absolutely be Sailor Moon, just because she is me. But as far as I really like to root for the bad guys sometimes, and so like Wicked Lady, just the fact that she just wants so bad to be included with the other girls, and that's kind of what makes her go into like the wrong direction, only to then be accepted back in, and then she turns back into Chibiusa. I know you just recently watched your very first Sailor Moon.
Don't worry about it. I'm not too worried about spoilers. But
I'm
yes,
like, let me.
yes, I did watch. I did air the Sailor Moon Crystal movie in my Discord.
It was fantastic. Yeah, it was wonderful. I loved every second of it. I might have been saving up to redeem that because it was a redeem in Iceman's chat. our Iceman's channel
It wa-
points.
Mm-hmm. Now, and one of my mods who she knows who she is put me up to it. So, but shout out to Jolly, of course. So, next question. So next question I had. This is kind of random. Were you into like anything athletic when you were younger? Like you play any sports, that kind of thing?
Actually, yes. So I did Bujinkan Budo Taijutsu. So I
Ooh.
am.
So a deer in the headlights that can kick ass. Okay.
Yes. I decided that I was going to kind of give that my all for several years. And I kind of dove head first into that. It didn't hurt that I was dating one of the higher ups in the class, so I was able to practice a little bit more than maybe some of the other people that were just going to the classes like twice a week or whatever we were doing back then. But then I was also going to like seminars, and then I was getting invited to black belt seminars as a green belt. I was actually upped because I happened to hit a 15th degree black belt in the face as a green belt, and I was told that no, that's not what a green belt does. And so I was like instantly promoted. But I was like, no, I eventually want to teach this martial art, and so I really wanted to go through all of the stages, so that way I could learn. I didn't want to like skip any of them and then be lacking skill in like the weapons that were taught at that stage. So
Damn.
even though I was promoted, I was like, no, don't promote me to the next one, even if I learn those skills, because I really want to go back and learn like those beginner brown belt skills.
So basically, you kicked a black belt. I don't want to say kick a black belt's ass, but you basically were able to use techniques. So you were basically above what your belt rank indicates, basically, or considered to be above.
Essentially, typically when presented as a green belt to somebody of that much higher rank, typically when a black belt comes up and goes, go ahead and hit me, you aim typically somewhere around like their shoulder, not necessarily at their face. I fully expected him to dodge it, so I went straight for the face, and then when they didn't dodge it, I was like, wait, what?
Wow, so you got promoted.
I was ready to apologize for actually
You got
hitting him.
promoted on accident. Yo, that's awesome. That is awesome indeed.
And for a while, I was the highest ranking female, in my state.
Oh wow. So if I met you and so basically if someone were to try and rob if someone were to try and come up to you and try to rob you in real life, you're basically your own weapon, practically.
I mean, I would probably be probably a little bit better equipped than most people, but I mean, I was always taught that if you can avoid conflict, avoid it.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Sorry if that question was a little too strong there.
Oh, no, absolutely. I do know that I'm not allowed to go to tournaments just because mine is not a sport, so
Right.
it is absolutely for defense. So I take that part very
Oh yeah.
strongly.
Oh yeah. You know, honestly, I think in this day and age, you know, being able to defend yourself, teaching yourself, you know, martial arts self defense is super important. Because there
I
are a
think
lot
it's
of
more about confidence.
Like, I can see that.
I think
Oh yeah.
that as a person, I can now confidently walk down the street, and so I don't know if that makes it so that way people uh won't, I guess, target you.
Right. It's so basically about building character.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say that was probably the one of the coolest things that I could have ever done. But I mean, outside of that, I was in swimming. Um, I absolutely loved that in high school. And then my parents would always like shove me into the random sports. So I did like t-ball, kickball, track, essentially whatever kind of sport that I showed interest in. They were like, "Yeah, you want to do cheerleading, you want to do gymnastics, like you go, you do it."
There you go.
But I think
Hey,
the two that I was most into were swimming and uh martial arts.
God, I cannot, man. I'll be honest with you. I envy those that know how to swim, and I know it's so easy, but I myself cannot swim. I have never ever been able to swim. Yeah, I cannot. I seriously cannot swim. Like if someone would throw me into the water, I would drown in a matter of seconds. That's how bad I am at swimming.
Well,
I'm
if you
not
ever
joking.
come visit my state, Ice, I will gladly teach you how to swim. I am actually certified.
Got you. I will definitely look into that if I visit Florida again. And I say again because I had been to Florida before, but I was way younger at the time.
Mm.
But if I ever make a trip to Florida, I'll have to oh, I should not have said that, shouldn't I?
It's all good. Um, so then tell me, I know that like mental health and anti-bullying is something that you are super passionate about. Um, tell us more about that.
Yeah, I can definitely share my story about that. And I I was bullied pretty much throughout my childhood, and it was because I was well back then, you know, autism. If you're like autistic or anything, you're considered special needs. So I was considered special needs, so I had to go to special ed and all that. But despite all that, I was really really smart. Like I got high grades. I made high like A's, high B's, and everything.
Hmm.
And because of that, and because of the way the way my speech was, because I also had a really bad speech impediment at the time. Ooh, excuse me. Had a little reaction to my chest there. Because of all that, I was constantly teased and tormented, and bullied, and it almost drove me to myself.
Mm.
3 times. But I never went. I never. Obviously, I didn't go through with it because I didn't go through with that because I had family and friends legitimately care about me, and I'm still friends with, and I'm still with them, thankfully, with them to this day. And I know, and you know, today in this day and age, you know, bullying, people that are getting bullied, there are people that get bullied and you know, it's your mental health, especially in schools these days. That you know that leads to some of like the bad stuff, the bad news you hear in schools every day, and also, and you know, unfortunately, there are people that will unfortunately, uh, it affects them so much that they themselves, um, and so I like to share my experience as an inspiration. I don't an inspiration for others that have been that have going through similar situations that I've been through when I was younger. Because you know, at the end of the day, that they bully you because they don't have what you have, and they'll never get to what you have, and they just want to bring you down to the they just want to bring you down to a level so they can feel good about themselves at the end of the day. So, you know, sometimes I guess I will say it's best to kill them with kindness. Basically, don't go into the don't sink yourself down to their level. Uh, basically because at the end of the day, you know, if the bullies keep doing what they're doing, eventually it's gonna come full circle. It's gonna come full circle on them, and karma. And I'm personally one that believes that karma will come to bite them in the ass for their actions. But and the um that's why, you know, I'm a huge advocate for anti. I'm a huge advocate for anti-bullying and you know mental health, because you know it has affected a lot of us. It's affected a lot of people, and you know you know, like I said, it's led to some, you know, for some people have had it. I know there are people that had it rougher than I have. But you know, and you know, I just want to be like that. I don't want to become that statistic, and you know, and I want to be like an inspiration to others that have been through that have been through what I've been through. That that you're more than just you're more than just a statistic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why and it's open, and it's good for us to share to share our experiences so that we can be that inspiration. We can be the inspiration and bring more awareness about this to the world.
Absolutely. I'm a big proponent of going to therapy. Therapy is a great place if you need it. I mean, even if you don't, I just think it's a great way to just like work through any kind of like issue, any kind of thoughts that you're having, like be it happy, be it negative, be it whatever. I just feel like it's a great place to just be a sounding board even. um I
Exactly.
would say that I would not be the where I'm at today if I didn't have a therapist. So
Um,
absolutely, they have opened my eyes to things that I didn't even see in myself. Uh, so yes, there is no shame in that game of
Agreed.
going and talking to a therapist or seeking out psychiatric help if you need it.
I agree. I'll also add to that for my brothers, my men out there, it is okay to be emotional. Emotions have no gender. I just want to
Absolutely.
add that last. I want to add that last part to that, and I think not, it's very important to share that, to say that, because you know the whole stigma behind men and emotion and mental health. You know, we need us we need to tell them that it's okay to go to therapy. you don't have to hide your emotions. You don't have to tough it. You don't have to tough it out. It's okay. It's okay to be. It's okay to be a male in this planet and be vulnerable. It is perfectly
Absolutely.
okay. It angers me so it pisses me off so much when there are people that say that men shouldn't feel this way, that that this emotion, how you feel, how you express yourself, it's not manly. It, I think that that's a load of shit.
I agree.
Pardon my language on that.
As a mom to a little one who happens to be of the male sex, I plan on making it known to him at a very, very young age that all of his emotions are valid, are things that he should absolutely be feeling, and that be it good or bad, things that he has to work through and go through them in order to grow.
Exactly. Oh, well, what do you know, guys? It is getting dark outside, so as you can see, it is getting a bit dark outside. We've another new feature of this place. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what I'm gonna call this place yet, but I'll think of something. But anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah. Did you have another question for me?
Sure. What is one of the things that you want to change about yourself in the next year? I know that you're going on your partner amble.
Yes. Also, what's up, Baker? Tech Anime Bro, Fight Game Bro, JoJo, welcome to the stream. But go
Baker,
ahead,
hello.
Holding this plate back named Kindness. Love it, baloney. I love it. I'm sorry. Go ahead and Maple, continue.
So, I guess, what is the one thing that you would like to change about yourself within the next year, or change about your streaming in the next year?
That is a great question. As a person, I would say being more is my consistency. Being more consistent with my training, because I feel like the last year I wasn't very consistent with my diet, with my training. So there were days where work got to be so much that I didn't want to work out a lot as I wanted to. But just recently I just got back to working out 5 days a week. Before I would only work out towards the middle of the year to the end. I only worked out maybe 3-4 days a week. And before that I was working out 5 days a week. So
Ooh. Now
I'm back to my 5 days a week. Matter of fact, been back at it for 2 weeks straight. But I just want to get more consistent, more focused on my diet, which I feel like I've been doing a good job for the past couple of weeks, because I'm trying to lose this gut right here.
Can't you bench something incredible?
Yes. I probably can't anymore, but last June I think it was, I maxed out at 300. It was 335, I believe. 335 bench, but these days I can't anymore, since I haven't lifted heavy in a year. So it's probably way below that now. And also I have some inflammation. I have some tendonitis on both my elbows. More so my right than my left, but yeah. So pull up, anything that involves pull ups and that kind of, and dips are very hard for me to do. So I can't even right now I can't even. I don't know if you guys can't see very well, but I can't even. But my right arm right here, well, left if you're watching the stream, I can't even I can't like straighten my thing all the way out. It's because of the tendonitis on my elbows. So, but yeah, and it's pain. It can be painful at times, but it's manageable. But it is painful. But that aside, as far as streaming is concerned, I would say the biggest thing I want to change is being more. I guess I would say being more eloquent with my speech, because there are times where I'll like say something and then I'll constantly trip on my own words. So being more being more eloquent with my speaking on stream would probably be one of my biggest goals to change while I'm streaming. And try new things like this here. A couple of new things.
Absolutely. So then, what is some advice or mentorship that you could give to some of the streamers that are just starting out? Because we do have a couple of those in our chat right now.
Yep. Just don't stop. Streaming at the end, it's a marathon. It's not a race. And don't worry, man. There are some people that will get to their goal faster than you, and they have they play similar games and similar vibes. It's okay. I mean, everybody progresses at their own pace. So as long as you don't stop, as long as you just keep going, well, however you want to go, and however you want to go with your content, however you want to go with your content, whether it's JRPGs or you want to go variety, just be consistent with it, just don't stop. And it's okay to change your content it's okay to change your content, because sometimes you just feel like I like doing this more. I like this more. I like doing this kind of content more. I like doing that kind of content more. You know what I mean? Yeah, just go with like whatever feels natural to you at best, and just continue going from there. I mean, I used to stream a huge variety of games before I ultimately decided, okay, JRPGs is what I love to play the most. So I'm gonna focus primarily on that and do some community. I'll do some multiplayer games here and there, but.
And is that what ultimately led you to getting the affiliate status with Capcom? Partially.
The biggest thing that got me to Capcom, because I played a lot when I got in. I played a lot of fighting game. I did a lot of fighting game content as well. And Street Fighter is their Capcom's biggest fighting game IP. And playing that, and playing and I'm also a fan of Mega Man. The Mega Man series, particularly the Mega Man X series. That's what ultimately led me into the Capcom Creators Program. And and I still play them to this day. I still play both of those games to this day. It's just I've had a chance to play it lately because of all the games that have come out this year. As a matter of fact, speaking of Capcom, I know the new Monster Hunter is coming out in the next month, and just to let everybody know, I will be streaming that. And you guys are gonna hear it first, but there will be a Monster Hunter related podcast, a Monster Hunter related episode of Chillin, the weekend of the launch. So, and I already have the guest. I already have the guest signed up for it. I already have the guest booked for it and everything. I will announce all that in due time. But yeah, my advice is just don't stop. just don't stop and just don't stop. Just you know, just do. Oh, and another piece of advice I would say: just do you. Just do what you do. Don't try to put like a persona on or pretend to be somebody just to gain
Agree.
viewers. Just do you. Everything will come full circle after that. That will be my advice to up and coming streamers, to you guys, to the new streamers. Maple, any advice you want to add?
I mean, being authentic to yourself, I think, is one of the greatest things that you can do. It's going to make streaming that much easier if you're just being yourself. Again, I agree with Ice that if you're putting on a persona, there are going to be days when you are just not feeling it. And if you are trying to make it, like, you have to be consistent with it. And so just being yourself is going to take you 10 times further, because people can tell when you're having an off day, and you know, your true colors tend to show. So if you're not just being authentically yourself, it's gonna fall flat eventually. But I also agree with consistency, but then also I guess trying to be upbeat and helping other people around you. I mean, I've made some fantastically great friends through this streaming atmosphere that I have been invited into and have the privilege of being inside. And I don't think that I would be anywhere near where I am at today without the collaboration and the friendships that I have made along the way. So it can be a solo journey, but for me, I have not had that experience at all, and I'm hanging out with people in my stream that I hang out in my other friend's stream, and so we now have just become like this great big family, or at least that's what it feels like to me. And so it's not even just streaming anymore. It's just getting to hang out with my friends.
100% agreed. 100% agree with Maple on that. It's all about, you know, making friends, making good friends on this journey, collaborating with them. That can go a long way. And I agree with Maple. Maple, I mean, look, you've come a long way yourself, you know.
I mean, it's been about a year. I think I just celebrated my 1 year of streaming.
Has it only been 1 year?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy?
I feel like it's been longer than that. I feel like it's been, I don't know. I feel like I've known you long. I feel like I've known you longer than that. That's
I know.
crazy. It's only been
again,
a year?
it's that family feel of, and it's only been a year, Ice.
That's crazy. Wow. Well, hey, when you develop deep friendships like that, it can feel like you've known each other for your entire life, but it's only been chronologically a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
But alrighty, guys. Maple, do you have any closing things you want to say before we end this podcast? Or like when can we see you? When can we see you next?
Actually, I was planning on streaming tomorrow. I don't exactly know what. I was contemplating Cult of the Lamb just because I know that I had promised. to get that started, but I also have a couple of other games that I have been waffling back and forth on. I also really love playing some Phasmo. I've been really into that, which surprised
I've
me because
seen
I'm
that.
typically not about
Yeah,
the scary
because
game,
you are
like at
you are
all.
not a horror games person.
No, no, not at all. But something about Phasmo is fun. I guess it's when my friends are egging me on, I'm a lot braver than I am than IRL. I'm like the biggest scaredy cat. But um Nico has killed me a couple of times now, so I've gotten over that fear. Uh but yes, otherwise I am typically found in the locker or in the van. But I've more brave recently. So yes, if you want
Oh
to
man.
join me in that fun, um, absolutely hit that follow button, and you'll be notified when I go live. Right?
Maple is literally me in Phasmo. I'll always be in the van. I would never go inside. I would never go inside the house or go inside
Oh,
the
the
house, the
wealth of
school, or whatever.
information from the van.
Right. Wow.
What about you?
Hey.
Is there
Oh yeah.
anything that you would like to share?
Yeah. Like I said, don't for those that have been following my channel, there will be I will be hosting a raid train for Black History Month in February. There'll be over 50 Black content
Let's
creators
go.
showcasing, their stuff. So go show each and every one of them some love. It was a lot of hard work putting all this together, but everything is finalized and everything. So there will be a video. There'll be a hype video put together, much like last year's one. So I think the person who I got to edit to put everything together, that should be up. That'll be up the week before the event kicks off. I do have some other announcements, including one that unfortunately at this time I cannot make, but I'll tell you right now, I will make. You expect the announcement next weekend, so that's when I can make the announcement. But it is something kind of sort of big for me at least. So, and
We are waiting with bated breath.
Maple, you're gonna love it. You guys are gonna love it. I promise you. I am dying to share this announcement with you guys, but
I am salivating.
yes, but unfortunately, because of contractual reasons, I cannot share that information. So, but
Baloney, bad baloney.
VTuber. Come on, this handsome face as a VTuber model. I wouldn't look good. Come on, man.
Baloney might do you right.
Well, anyway, other than that, I'll be live tomorrow. As a matter of fact, right when this stream ends, I will have my schedule for that week up on my socials. And with that, we are going to go ahead and end it right there. So, if you guys want it on YouTube, if you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. I'm up to 250 subs. I'm at 208 currently. So,
Holy smokes.
So your support, if you sub to my channel, the support would be greatly appreciated. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and end it right there. So I hope you guys watching on YouTube. Y'all take care. Have a good rest of your weekend. And